like almost 24 hours ago, I was on Twitter, on social media.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to name names of anybody that's associated with this show. Rob Guerra. I'm not trying to out anybody for going over the top with their celebrations of the Los Angeles Lakers. But did you see the Lakers won the NBA Finals last night? Did you see that? Unbelievable.
Big win in Denver.
Crazy.
Like, where's the confetti and where's the parade route? Is it going past Sherman Oaks all the way down to downtown L.A.?
Unbelievable what has happened. So the Lakers go on the road. They beat the Denver Nuggets 120, 116 in overtime. Of course.
Very good win.
If you can win in overtime at Denver against a good Nuggets team,
and they've only lost a handful of games at home. They're very good at home.
And they've always been good at home. It's like the Broncos early in the season in Denver at altitude. Their record is staggering because teams aren't in the greatest shape that early in the season. So the Broncos usually play really well at home early on. But when you can get a win at Denver in overtime, the final game before the All-Star break, you got to feel good about it.
And they got a 4-game lead in the West.
5 up in the loss column, which is important.
So they're in a good position, and that was a good way to close out the first half.
Yeah, and so congratulations. And Laker fans are ecstatic because this is the first time in 6 years it looks like they're going to go back to the postseason.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. And so then this, anonymous NBA executive came out and said there's no way.
Quote. No way.
No way. Not a no way, no how.
So you know it wasn't me.
No.
If it was a quote, no way, no how.
Well, and you also know it wasn't you because it didn't end up on a T-shirt.
That's right.
So you also know it wasn't you.
But you could also go to GetRob.com because there are T-shirts there.
You absolutely can. And don't worry, next holiday season, it'll be back by the kitchen again here at Fox Sports Radio.
Parker.
But he said, this anonymous NBA executive, quote, no way the Lakers can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series.
And all hell broke loose.
Of course.
We talked about it on the show, and people were ripping me on Instagram and on Twitter and all, panties in a bunch. People around here don't want to hear about that. And I think this GM, I'm buying what the GM is saying. And just from this, do the Lakers have 2 of the 3 best players in the NBA right now? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. No argument.
Yep.
It ain't about.
I
said 2 of the best.
I get your point.
Okay.
Top 5 at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go there.
Yeah.
It ain't about who has the best who has the best team. And my example of that was 2004. I know Rob Guerra hates this, whereas it's probably all bent out of shape. All Laker fans hate when I talk about 2004 because Kobe, Shaq, remember they had already won 3 championships. And then they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton. They were all looking for their first championship. Of course you're going to beat the Pistons. Who did they have? Chauncey Billups.
Ben Wallace.
Darko. Rip Hamilton. Tayshaun Prince. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, cakewalk.
Yeah.
What? Star-studded and no star.
Yeah.
It was a 5-game sweep. That's what I call it. Because really, the Pistons should have won all 5 games.
Yes.
Kobe hit that 3, tied it, and they won that 1 game in overtime. But the bottom line is, it's about team. And when this executive and when people who are not just fans of the Lakers look at what the Clippers have put together, the players who are defensive-minded, they have 3 closers. They have a coach who's already won a championship. I would argue Doc Rivers coached his best season last year with no star. Remember, they went to Oakland. They beat the Warriors twice there during the playoffs. They also pushed him to a 6-game. Kevin Durant had to score 50-some-odd points to shake off the Clippers. They went out and added 2 superstars to already a great nucleus. They got dogs, guys who want it, who don't back down. You can't push over those guys.
Montrezl Harrell, Marcus Morris, Pat Beverly.
Right. Then at the trade deadline, this is typical Laker fan. The Lakers were talking about trying to get Marcus Morris, and as soon as they don't get him, we didn't really need him. He ain't going to be the difference on what. But the Clippers got him. He fits in. He's a big body. He's tough. He can defend in the post.
3-and-D. He's perfect 3-and-D guy.
Yes, he's shooting 43% from 3-point. What don't you like about him to add to the team already, and they didn't have to disrupt what they have going? And I get it. Stop living in the past. This is not your father's Clippers and when they were terrible and they could never win anything. That's what people said about Toronto. They never won anything. How could you pick Toronto? Guess what? They won last year.
Yeah.
I believe the Clippers are going to win, and when this executive looked at the two teams, looked at the rosters, looked at how this game is played, hard to believe that you're going to beat them 4 times out of 7. I'm talking about the Clippers.
Nobody should be surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was asked this question locally here in LA before the season. Who's going to have more wins in the regular season, Lakers or Clippers? I said the Lakers. They've got more to prove. Now, when you hear that, you take a step back and go, whoa, the Lakers have more to prove than the Clippers? Well, yeah, absolutely, because look at what these teams are now. Maybe not from a fan base or an organizational standpoint and history, but you've got LeBron James coming off his first injury-riddled year missing the playoffs. You've got Anthony Davis and people doubting him as a person and as a teammate the year before. And you've got Frank Vogel, who was brought in, and everybody just assumes that his assistant coach is going to get the job anyways. So, yes, the Lakers had more to prove, and I always felt they were going to this year. The Clippers had Kawhi Leonard, who just came off winning a championship.
And has already won. He's been to 3 and won 2.
And Paul George was coming off off-season surgery. He wasn't even available to start the year. So I am not surprised at all that the Lakers are where they're at and the Clippers are where they're at.
The Clippers are all about the postseason.
And here's the other thing. This would be something if the Lakers ended up with the 1 seed and the Clippers didn't play in their same building. But home court doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter between these two teams. So all the Clippers need to do is get to the 2 seed, and it's a wash in a 7-game series. And that's what
they're going to be in their own beds, eating their home cooking.
100%. Oh, so the floor is going to be a different color. Who cares, man? Look around the Staples Center. There's not one Clipper banner up, but there's a Taylor Swift banner up. That's the Clippers aren't used to playing in the Lakers arena. So I don't buy any of these advantages that we can usually put towards whoever gets a higher seed in home court. It doesn't make sense to me. Here's the other thing. So if we're going to say, all right, if you got to pick 3 teams that you think could legitimately win a title this year in the NBA, I would go with the Lakers, Clippers, and Milwaukee Bucks.
Right, I agree. Those are the only 3 teams.
Now, the Lakers against the Bucks and Clippers this year are 0-3. So if you don't want to talk about one game at a time, how about a 3-game series against the other 2 teams? They're 0-3.
And when you look at the Clippers, what they've been able to do, remember in those 2 games, Lakers were leading big time for the 3 quarters.
Yes.
And when it got down to crunch time, what happened?
And no Paul George in game 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they won that game, and when you look at the matchups, look at how they play defense, and here's the other thing that hurts the Lakers, and people don't want to hear this. They only have one closer, and that's LeBron. 17 years, 35 years old. Anthony Davis needs to get the ball from somebody. He can't just take the ball, dribble, and do a thing by himself. So, and who's the other guy? Kyle Kuzma, who was supposed to be remember the piece they couldn't give up?
Yeah.
Inconsistent this year. Hasn't adapted well to the new role. Remember, last year when he was shooting, they were in meaningless games because they weren't making the playoffs. It's a big difference putting up shots in those games and now putting up shots in games that matter.
And they're also going for broke in the regular season, and you're going to see it play out. And this is where it's going to be fascinating to watch because you're really seeing 2 different ideologies and strategies heading into the postseason. You're seeing the Lakers who are saying we don't take any time off. We're not about load management, even though LeBron was the guy who introduced it to the NBA. And then the Clippers who are saying, no, we do believe in load management, and you're going to see come the postseason which method worked. Because the one thing about the NBA, and I'll give the NBA credit for this, the best team always wins. Because it's not a one-off scenario. Like, it's not in the NCAA tournament, you have a bad 10-minute stretch and you're out of the tournament and you are the best team coming into it. In the NFL, you see upsets all the time. If Baltimore and Tennessee played 10 times, how many of those games does Tennessee actually win?
Right.
3 or 4? I would venture to guess Baltimore wins a majority. In the NBA, the best team wins every single time.
Especially 4 out of 7.
Yes.
Anybody can win one game. I would tell you right now, if it was single game elimination, Michael Jordan wouldn't be 6 for 6 in the NBA.
No.
You could get beat in one game.
Toronto lost to Orlando in the first game of the postseason last year.
Exactly. And think about this. Toronto lost the first 2 games to Milwaukee, right, before they came back and won that series. So I'm saying one game, anybody can beat you.
Yeah, and so that's why But I know that we've got to jump for joy and celebrate. I'm just more of a guys. Let's take a step back, cool it, and wait and play this thing out. All right, this isn't a referendum on what the playoffs are going to look like based on what happened.
All right, 877-99 on Fox.
Leonard is in California here on Fox Sports Radio. Hold on, Leonard, just say your first name because there's this device that we have in the phone system that we just put in, but we're testing it out here. So just say your first name through the phone.
Leonard.
Okay. Yeah, so we can tell you're a Laker ball washer. Go ahead.
Rob, you are the most unknowledgeable analyst on all sports media.
Is that
First
right?
Of all, you are the worst, man. You picked Green Bay and you picked the Chargers.
Hey, Leonard, Leonard, hold on. Leonard, hold on. We can have a conversation. I picked Toronto in 6. I picked the Nationals in the World Series. I could go on and on and on. Stop it, okay? So don't handpick a couple that didn't. I can't get them all right. I picked NFL games at a 65% clip. In Vegas, I'd be very wealthy. So go ahead with your point and talk about the Lakers.
Have proven stars. What has Paul George ever done in the postseason but fold?
More than Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis hasn't had the opportunity.
He was in the postseason. What are you talking about, the 7 years he was in New Orleans?
What has Paul George? You labeled Paul George a superstar. What has he ever done in the postseason?
I said Paul George is a closer. He can close out games. He's that kind of player, Leonard. I'm sorry. You call back when you don't have your parade in L.A. Thanks. Appreciate the call.
I mean, like you can't come on and rip you and then not back up with research.
Right? Can you do something?
Like who's done more in the postseason, Paul George or Anthony Davis? Like people forget Paul George took LeBron and those Heat teams deep in the postseason with the Pacers, long time ago. Joseph in Virginia, listening here on Fox Sports Radio. Joseph, what's happening? You're on the Odd Couple.
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing great.
Hey, fellas, I am a Laker fan, but the reason for the excitement is not so much as, it's a championship guaranteed. You got to understand, we missed the playoffs for 6 years. We gave a horrible contract to Kobe. This year, we're the first team defense. We got the best defense in the league. We got the best road record in the league. We have signs to be happy. As far as the Clippers, the only person that's proven is Kawhi. And let's not forget, San Antonio did lose to LeBron's Miami in the finals. Paul George, I don't see him. He can be a closer, but maybe in the regular season.
Joseph,
he's not an alpha.
Joseph, how many years was LeBron in Cleveland? Do you know?
13?
10, 11 years?
A long time.
Like 10, 11?
13, yeah.
Like how many championships did he win?
Who was wanting to play in Cleveland?
Oh, no, that's not what I asked you.
I heard the conversation. I heard the conversation with Cal Hurd earlier.
That's not what I'm just asking you. When you guys act like it's automatic, he's lost 6 championships. He only won. He won 1 in 11 years in Cleveland. Stop making it like it's automatic.
He
was there last year. He was there with the Lakers last year. Joseph, you were one of those guys who thought they were going to the playoffs too, and they're gonna make a run last year, right?
Not with Luke Walton.
Stop!
I knew they weren't going to.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't think
Luke is
LeBron.
not a championship
You thought
coach.
LeBron was not making the playoffs last year?
No.
Oh, I don't
come
believe
on.
that. Stop
Come
it.
on.
Stop it,
Come
Joseph.
on, man.
I don't buy that.
Coach. He
Come
was
on,
not a
man.
championship caliber coach.
16 out of the 30 teams make it. You're going to tell me LeBron's not making the playoffs?
Joseph, you sure you aren't one of those guys who goes back to, well, when LeBron got hurt, that's why the season fell apart.
No. I don't have any excuse for what happened last year. I feel like last year was just a sell pitch to get Anthony Davis. Magic was to get LeBron. LeBron was to get Anthony Davis, and that was the process.
All right.
Magic always said it was a plan, a 2 to 3 year plan for them to get to where they needed to be.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
It's like a guy who crashes his car and then tells everybody, "I meant to do that."
Right.
Okay.
How about Max in Georgia? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
A lot of haters on tonight, fellas.
Yeah, it's all good,
Hey.
Max. You know that.
Real quick, Rob, man, you done killed it all week on FS1. You beat up Chris 2 a days. He beat the puke out of him, I guess. I hope he's feeling better.
Wow.
I hope he's feeling better.
That's
And
not nice.
My guy Jonas is the Lou Williams of FSR / the Odd Couple, coming off the bench for us again.
No doubt.
Appreciate you.
Damn right.
Hey, Listen, the Clippers are no doubt the favorite. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any fanboys these Lakers are believing. This team is doing their thing, and good for them. They've won a lot of games. They're in first place. Good for them.
Yep.
That's going to be what we remember about this season. We're not going to remember a title. We're not going to remember a tribute to Kobe. Sorry, Kobe. They didn't want to play that game, and I understand that, but it was because of who they were playing more than it was because of what Kobe. I just believe that. And that said, appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Rob, thank you for being the only guy really speaking truth on FS1 sometimes. You're one of the only guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Max, I appreciate that.
How about that? A little bit of love. About time.
I'm just, you know me, I got to do my thing.
You do have to do your thing. Patrick in North Carolina, you're going to do your thing here on Fox Sports Radio. You're on The Odd Couple.
Hey, fellas, listen, I also want to say real quick, Jonas, I love your show on Saturdays. I think you do a great job on Saturdays. I love listening to you on Saturday night.
What about the one on Friday and Sunday?
Friday and Sunday?
He's busy.
I got things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for the loyalty, Patrick. We appreciate it.
Patrick got things going on in North Carolina.
I don't blame him.
That's right, Rob. You my boy, and that Leonard boy, he don't know what he's talking about, Rob. Okay, he must be on something. But listen, what I'm gonna get to real quick is, in a 7-game series, the Clippers and the Lakers. The Clippers will beat the Lakers, and I think it wouldn't go 7 games. It would go 6 games. And the reason why is the Lakers do not have somebody to close out a game.
Yeah,
we've seen LeBron in the past in finals and NBA finals. He does not have that killer instinct. There are 2 players that's on the Clippers that has that killer instinct, in my opinion. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Plus, they've got fresher legs. Plus, they're younger players.
And Patrick, don't forget about Lou Williams can close the game too.
That's exactly right. Lou Williams, and plus Patrick Beverly plays great defense. So I just don't think it would go 7. I think they'd beat them in 6.
There you go, Patrick. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, and it's a great point as well too. Look, Lou Williams coming off the bench, and which roster had the playoff experience from a year ago? It was the Clippers. The Clippers did pretty well, all things considered, going against Golden State.
No stars. Took it to a 6-game series. I'm telling you. And they went on the road and beat Oakland. This is the healthy Golden State Warriors. Remember, KD played, Clay played, and Steph played.
Yeah. So and you got Doc Rivers, who's done good things in the postseason before. All right. So it is the Odd Couple here on Fox Sports Radio. He's Rob Parker. I'm Jonas Knox, in for Chris Broussard. All right. Coming up next, there is an insider who covers one team in particular. We will get to the bottom of whether or not he believes what an executive's had to say about his franchise. We'll have that for you next here on Fox Sports Radio. But for all the latest from around the world of sports, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Gas Man, David Gascon.
Speaking of getting on the gas, are you doing that, Jonas?
I have.
Really?
Not currently.
Oh. Really? What does that mean?
Yeah,
I was talking
you know that stuff, Andro, that Mark McGuire took?
Androstein, back in the day.
Andro 1AD. I took that back in the day.
Did you?
You didn't get that from Brady Quinn, though, did you?
No. He's an EAS guy.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
had to go. I had to get this on my own. Let me tell you something, man.
From Mexico?
Let me tell you something. I took one bottle of it. I get the hype. Good God!
Wow!
All you want to do is lift. I swear to you're looking for stuff to pick up, like cars. Like you're chasing a pump. All you want to do is work out. It's insane.
That's like Rob Parker. I don't know how Rob maintains his weight and shape because the guy eats a boatload of wings.
No, but I put on a couple pounds. I got to get back to it. I was doing great.
You're like 160.
Yeah, but you know what? Wings comparative to a lot of things out there
aren't
like burgers,
as bad, or fries. No,
all.
wings aren't that bad.
And I'm not a big fry guy with my wings. I just like wings with an IPA.
Well, Rob gets his cardio on from chasing all that he chases, too, so.
No, they've been chasing him. Guy's like the middle of a litter box.
Guys, let's start things off in the NBA.
What's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard.
I'm Rob Parker.
And we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar, and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?